SCP-5181 Teufelshunde. In March 1918, the German army pushed an offensive west into Allied territories in an attempt to win the war on the Western Front before the United States Armed Forces had an opportunity to fully deploy. By May of that year, the German offensive had reached the north bank of the Marne River at the small village of Château-Thierry, where they encountered the U.S. Third Army Division. This forced the German advance to turn west towards the commune of Vaux. That evening the Germans defeated elements of the French armed forces, which allowed them to move into position to flank the U.S. military. In response, the 1st Battalion, 5th Marines, including the highly decorated Cheyenne Company, moved to intercept along the Paris-Metz highway. After having conducted an all-night forced march to achieve their position, the 1st Battalion Marines were exhausted and ill-prepared to fend off an all-out assault by the German offensive. Despite this, the Marines were able to hold the position and eventually launched sufficient counterattacks that drove the Germans into entrenched defenses in the Belleau Woods. After several days of intense fighting, the Germans were pushed out of the Belleau Woods with both sides suffering heavy casualties. In the aftermath of these engagements, the Foundation received a request from U.S. High Command requesting assistance in retrieving elements of the 1st Battalion that had gone rogue, and were continuing to engage any forces that entered Belleau Woods, regardless of allegiance. Lieutenant Major Jeremy Stevens, a Foundation field operative embedded with the 1st Battalion, took command of a retrieval operation, which resulted in the deaths of 15 Foundation agents and the acquisition of SCP-5181. SCP-5181 refers collectively to a group of biologically and thaumaturgically enhanced humanoids recovered from the Belleau Wood area north and west of Château-Thierry, France. Originally contained by Foundation assets embedded within the United States 2nd Infantry Division in July 1918. Despite the length of their containment, the 3 surviving members of the SCP-5181 group have shown no signs of advanced age. While testing on the matter has proven inconclusive, it is believed that the 5,181 entities are all biologically immortal and have shown no degeneration in their physical and cognitive capabilities. 5,181 entities all display significantly enhanced physical characteristics, each showcasing dexterity, endurance, and physical strength far superior to that of a baseline human. Additionally, each subject presents with advanced cases of terminal hypertrichosis 1 as well as multiple musculoskeletal abnormalities. While a majority of these abnormalities are subcutaneous and not readily apparent, all of the 5,181 entities exhibit extensive reformations of the skull and facial structures. SCP-5181-1, -2, and -3 are contained in individual Class A humanoid containment chambers in the secure containment block at Site 12. Each chamber has been modified to allow for a continuous audio-visual feed of the other 2 chambers. At no point should this feed be interrupted, nor should the 5,181 entities be prevented from viewing it at any time. The 5,181 entities are restricted to a vegetarian diet. At no point are they to be supplied with any dietary supplements that are not included on Meal Plan V102. Testing on SCP-5181 has been permanently suspended. Inquiries and proposed testing procedures are to be submitted in writing to the Site 12 Ethics Committee representative. Due to the complexity of operations during recovery of SCP-5181, attempts to completely remove references to the 5,181 entities had mixed results. While the propaganda and disinformation campaigns in Europe were largely successful, references to SCP-5181 in the US media and common knowledge were already so widespread that complete removal of such were deemed detrimental to overall Foundation operations and were ultimately discarded. In lieu of complete erasure, the attempts to spread the Teufelshunde or Devil Dogs moniker across the entirety of the U.S. Marine Corps has seen significant success, while references to the 1st Battalion, 5th Marines Cheyenne Company have largely been eradicated. We then find an addendum from the Ethics Committee regarding SCP-5181. From Dr. Marie Gilbern, of the Ethics Committee, 2. Dr. Guillaume Ribière, Site 12 Director. May 18, 1940. Re. SCP-5181. I want to make myself very clear. You had no right, morally or legally, to activate SCP-5181. Doing so not only cost the lives of 4 of the SCP-5181 entities, but those of your containment staff, 14 of Site 12 security personnel, and an unknown number of civilians. This is precisely why we don't get involved with the political affairs of mundane governments. I realize that you were acting out of an interest to preserve lives, but these men are no longer soldiers and you have no business putting them into the field. Your rash and inexcusable actions caused infinitely more harm than good, and your beloved France will ultimately have to pay for your actions. SCP-5181 cannot be controlled, and your attempts to do so has cost the lives of men under your command. This is exactly what Order 187 was meant to prevent. I expect your resignation within the hour. Dr. Marie Gilbert, Director, Ethics Committee. Last addendum was the Journal of Lieutenant Richards during the events regarding SCP-5181. It reads: June 2, 1918. We marched through the night, but managed to get here just in time. The French ran away, but the doc says that we're right where we should be. The captain asked him if we were going to finish taking the injections, but Doc said to wait. Once we do, there won't be any turning back. So we wait. Along with the rest of the 1-5. June 4, 1918. We kicked the shit out of them Kraut bastards. We had just enough time to dig little half-graves in the dirt before they started pouring over the hill and into our enfilade. We waited, then we killed. The sound of all those guns going off still rings in my ears. Almost enough to drown out the screaming. It's quiet now, but that isn't gonna last. The captain says. June 6, 1918. This morning we assaulted 142 and finally took it, but a lot of good men won't be going home. The captain and Doc got into it, and the Doc agreed to let us finish. We're being shifted to help 3-6 take Belleau, and the captain says now is the time. Doc gave us all syringes filled with blood and told us to inject ourselves after we move in with 3-6. The others don't quite know what to make of it, but we're goddamn war dogs. Whatever comes, we got this. June 7, 1918. My whole body feels like it's on fire. The pain is spiking through everything, but I ain't ever felt so alive. I can hear everything. I can taste the sweat and rust from the krauts on the breeze blowing through Belleau. I can feel the beating hearts of my brothers and the hair on my arms. I feel strong, stronger than ever I've been. The weariness of sleep is gone, but the hunger remains. I can taste it in my mouth, and I can see it running in their veins. I must. June 10, 1918. We've killed and killed and killed, and the hunger still drives me. War dogs. We're not war dogs anymore. The krauts are calling us Teufelshunde now. Devil dogs. The pride in that is almost enough for me to forget the hunger. Almost enough for me to forget the fear in the eyes of the other Marines. Almost. June 11, 1918. They're not afraid. They're jealous. Jealous of what we've become. Jealous of what we can do. We've taken the woods. They belong to us now, and no one's gonna take them from us. No one's gonna take anything from us ever again.